Hi, this is Alan from Alpus Group, and I'd just like to refer you to the 20 key factors for project success in the context of a couple of problem projects we've been involved in recently. And the issue with the first project, which was abandoned with some of the work carried out, essentially what was a revenue earning um, HMO was uh, destroyed, and the building wasn't revenue earning at all. And what we did was put together a rescue plan to turn this around and make it into a profitable serviced accommodation building, increasing the number of rooms by two as well to 10, a 10-room serviced accommodation, and rescuing the project from being failed. So um, it, it, the reason this project failed was perhaps because of not a clear or concise project remit or brief, that it wasn't clear what the people were trying to achieve. And it was as a result of that, they have possibly run out of money to carry out the work, the remaining work, and so have abandoned the site. So we got involved in a few weeks ago. We formulated a rescue plan, and we've started to implement that rescue plan with our client, who's involved with the owner of the property. So that's one particular problem project. And then another problem project that we've been looking at recently is where there's a site at the back of some gardens in a row of houses, and it's got a very narrow access to the site at the back, and it's very restrictive for heavy vehicles. So it's difficult to get the heavy vehicles into the site, and there's an issue with the boundary with the um, lady who owns the access road at the moment. So it's another issue where, had this problem of access been resolved at an earlier date, there wouldn't have been a stoppage on this project, and it's been, although it's been started, it hasn't actually progressed hardly at all. So we're looking at this with regard to another rescue plan on this one, but it's interesting. It comes back to one of these apparently obvious things, that you must make sure that the site is available and accessible, and it's well worth on your own projects ensuring that you, before you engage a contractor, do have access to the site that you're planning to develop. And what I mean by access is not necessarily just pedestrian access. You need vehicular access, and not just to be able to get your car to the site, but also you need to be able to get trucks and plant to the site in order to develop it, because you've got to do usually site clearance, which involves heavy trucks. You've got excavation. You've got machinery that needs to be brought in to carry out those functions. You've got drainage trenches to dig. You've got filling, possibly temporary filling to make a temporary road or temporary area for storage of materials. And you've got concreting to do, which involves access for vehicles in order to carry out the concreting. So that's apart from all the necessary traditional materials, if it is traditional construction: brickwork, blockwork, scaffolding, roofing materials, roof trusses, and so on. All of these things need to be delivered to the site in an efficient way. And if the materials can't actually get to the site, they may have to be double handled to get them into the site. Then it becomes a much more expensive operation. So I just wanted to focus on those two problem projects we've been looking at recently. And it's not the only problem projects we've been looking at. There are other projects that we come across that have been started and not finished and come on the market. And very often with these projects, it's not possible to accept work that may have been done and remains on the project untested, because you just don't know what workmanship has been on those sites. And so it may be necessary to strip out and start again. rather than to run the risk that some of the workmanship is suspect. So just wanted to focus on those two problem projects, and in particular the importance of a clear and concise project remit or brief. You must know what the product is that you're trying to achieve at the end of the project, and you must ensure that the site is available and accessible. That's of course just two of the 20 key factors for project success. Anyway, that's all for now. I'll show you some drawings and videos about these particular projects on a future video.